The Alberta government announced Friday that it's going to be entering into a memorandum of understanding with 3 other provinces to develop small modular nuclear reactors, SMRs as they're known. And to discuss that, we've got Brian Livingston, who's a professor and a scholar at the School of Public Policy in Calgary. So welcome to the interview, Brian.
Thank you, Mark. I'm glad to be here.
Now, why don't you give me your response to the announcement today by the Premier, Jason Kenney, and the Energy Minister, Sonia Savage?
I would view it, Markham, as a very positive step. As you said, the Alberta government is joining 3 other provinces, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and New Brunswick, who made a similar such announcement back in December. And when they made it back in December, I said, you know, really, small modular reactors are really a really good fit for the Alberta electrical grid, and as well, the Alberta industrial system, particularly in the oil sands.
Right, and I gather that one of the benefits of SMRs is not only do they produce electricity, they produce a lot of steam, and the oil sands uses a lot of steam.
Absolutely. You know, basically, a nuclear reaction, and this is nuclear physics 101, basically is a uranium atom splitting into smaller atoms, and some of the mass is lost, and some of it is recreated as energy, according to the famous phrase E = mc squared. So like any power plant, if you can generate heat, you can boil water to make steam, and you can make electricity. And that's what small modular reactors do. That's what the very large reactors that are in Ontario do, at Bruce and Pickering and Darlington, which have a capacity of about 11 or 12,000 megawatts, which is more than the entire grid of Alberta uses under normal conditions. So those are very big plants. They cost a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars. They occupy probably 2 or 3 or 4 square miles. And they're very, what's the right word? Not tricky to operate, but they have to be maintained properly. And it's hard to move them. Siting them was a real challenge. Now they put them all on the Lake Huron or Lake Ontario for engineering reasons.
Right. Now, I understand that you think that this is in your opinion, today's announcement is the first step in a very long journey. Can you explain what that means?
Yes, the first step is to say we think it's an idea worth exploring, and that's what I would take from the announcement today. As I said, most of Alberta's electrical grid today, about 90%, is fired by either coal or natural gas, which obviously emit greenhouse gas emissions. You mentioned the oil sands. The oil sands has a tremendous need for what I call industrial grade steam. That's about 300 degrees Celsius, so it's a lot hotter than what's in your coffee. And it's at a fairly high pressure, probably 200, 300, 400 pounds per square inch, which is a number of atmospheres. In other words, much higher than the pressure in a normal room. And that's needed to inject into the ground to break the bitumen into less viscous, i.e. to make it able to flow. That's done in SAGD. It's even done in mines. So there's a tremendous need. So today as we speak, there are a number, probably 10, probably more like 30 cogeneration plants here in the province of Alberta. And very simply, the of cogeneration is the steam that is generated by the burning, say, of natural gas is used to make electricity. And then the steam exits from the turbines. That's how you change steam power into electrical power. The exiting steam is then used to inject into the steam inject into the ground rather as industrial steam. Hence the name cogeneration. And the benefit of that, very simply, is it's an efficient use of energy. So that's why it's used.
Let's talk about the SMRs and the Alberta power grid. And Alberta and Ontario, I guess, are unique in Canada. They have wholesale markets, they have independent system operators, they have multiple utilities. And it seems like SMRs are a really good fit for the Alberta system.
The SMRs will be good for base load. The real issue is, are they economic? Because as you know, in the Alberta energy market, everybody bids in their price that they're prepared to supply electricity at. So if I'm a generator, say by coal, I bid in at 4 cents a kilowatt hour or $40 a megawatt hour, to use the wholesale terms. If my electricity is, if the AESO finds that my electrical bid is economic, in other words, they want to accept it, they do. If it's too high a price, they don't accept it. And that bidding is done literally every minute in the Alberta electrical market.
Right. Brian, thank you very much for this. This looks like it's going to be a long-term story as the memorandum of understanding gets signed and then the work begins on it. So I'll look forward to checking back with you in the future to see what kind of progress the parties are making.
The only thing I would add to Markham is that the government of Alberta needs to put its shoulder behind the wheel, help with the evaluation. In my view, they should form a task force of knowledgeable people to evaluate the various SMRs that are out there, and then they'll have to help with the regulatory process as well.
Sounds like a very sensible solution. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you. Good to talk.